Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much. Today I'm going to continue on my why I'm canning and continue canning conversation. And I'm going to talk today about the must-have items on my home can pantry shelf. And for me, when I look at these jars down on the shelf, it brings such a good feeling, but it also brings back so many memories. You know, I grew up doing it with my mom and my grandma, and then as I was raising my kids, they would help me. I mean, just this past summer, we made a relish, and my son was here helping me, and my granddaughter. So I love that part of canning, the tradition. And if you've not canned before, you can start the tradition now. It's never too late. So for me, it's traditions and memories are at the core of why I can, but there's more reasons too. But first, I wanted to go over the items that are must-haves on my pantry shelf. I was trying to stick to like 5 categories, 5 things. I think I have 6, and I could have gone to 7, but we can discuss more things later on too. But these are the must-haves that I will always have on my pantry shelf. And the number one thing for me is anything to do with tomatoes. I grew up canning tomatoes with my mom, and these are raw packed water bath tomatoes with the lemon juice added, and she would do hundreds of jars of these, and they were on our pantry shelf, and we would use them. And I have such great memories of getting together, and one of us would wash the tomatoes and one would put them in the hot water. Then I like peeling tomatoes a lot. I would peel them, then we'd put them in the jars and add the lemon juice and can them. And we would spend a whole day getting a bunch done. Growing up, she did it all the time. I mean, and she made more than just tomatoes. She would do tomato sauce. She would do marinara. Here's some of my marinara. And I love to have this to go, like I want to make chicken parmesan. Perfect. I do some in quarts, but I like having my pints too. The thing that I do that my mom didn't do with tomatoes is salsa. My family loves the salsa, and now that I do this, I really rarely buy any home store-bought salsa. Sometimes I'll buy a specialty one if it's on sale and I have a coupon, like the fresh kind. But I love this stuff. Sometimes we puree it up to make it as a sauce to go on eggs and everything. And I use Mrs. Wages, and this is medium. I do mild, and I've done hot. We love them all. And then the last thing that I love to do with tomatoes, and there's more, but this is a must-have for me, is tomato juice. I love home canned tomato juice. Just tastes so good to me. It has that fresh flavor. It tastes different than what you buy in a store, and makes good adult beverages if you like that, but I just like having it as to drink. So for me, tomatoes, if I could can nothing else, it would be things from the tomatoes we grow in our garden. Or if I had to even go buy them by the bushel, I would still want. My tomatoes don't have a core. They don't have bad spots. They don't have unripened spots. I know what's going in there, and it's hard for me to go buy store-bought tomatoes now. The next thing that will always be on my pantry shelf, and it's newer for me, is meat. I didn't pressure can until like 2018. And now I can't imagine not pressure canning. My husband killed an elk, and we had so much meat, and he said, why don't you can it? And I'm like, so I studied and read and studied. I watched videos, some of the safe canning, videos, and Red Ball, and studied Presto, and I bought my Presto 23 quart, and it has paid for itself over and over and over again. So I love doing pork butt. It looks kind of weird, but raw packed pork butt, easiest pulled pork you'll ever have. For casseroles, to make pork and gravy, for noodles, mashed potatoes. I do venison. I didn't bring a jar of venison up, but the venison is very good. And then ugly chicken, you know. This was actually not this jar, but ugly chicken was the first thing I canned in my pressure canner. I wanted to try something other than the elk. I didn't want to ruin his elk. And this, we're hungry at night, I can make chicken salad fast. He loves it. If there's nothing in the refrigerator for him, like if I'm working or if I'm gone with the ladies shopping and lunching, I can make him up chicken salad and he's so happy. For casseroles, for everything. The meats are just a staple. I always call it my fast food. I can come home from anything and have dinner fast. If I'm tired, I can have dinner fast. Now, the other thing that I've gotten into recently, number 3 on my list, is soups and stews. This is cowboy soup. It has sweet potatoes and corn, and this has venison and tomatoes and all kinds of veggies in it. I take it to work and I'll heat it up and I'll serve it with tortilla chips or Fritos. It's really good with Fritos. You can put it over noodles, you can put it over rice, or just eat it the way it is. I do turkey soup, and I can make pot pies out of this. It's fine just the way it is. We have heated this up on our wood stove for lunches in the winter, and it has all the yummy stuff in it that you want in turkey soup, except the noodles. Those we can add later. Here's another stew. This is venison pot roast. My husband takes this when he goes on fishing trips or hunting trips. He always takes some jars of this for his dinner. He heats it up over the wood fire, and he is happy to have that. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is something that I did with my mom and that we continue to do, and I can't imagine not having. We like pickles, and I like home canned pickles. So we do pickles, all kinds of pickles. Obviously, we do like the kosher dills. These are just, they're so good. This jar might go in the fridge. But we like more than just the kosher dill pickles. Another one of our favorites is pickled beets. Look at the color. This is a recipe that my mom actually developed the blend of spice blend. She took a couple of recipes and combined them. It's a safe recipe. Just she added her blend of spices. We don't put onions in them. I know that's real common. But we do all kinds of pickles. Pickled up asparagus. I've done the Brussels sprouts. We like bread and butter. Sandwich dills. I do some in pints that are sliced. And this was a new one last year. This is called banana pickles. It's cucumbers. And you peel them. You use like the big cucumbers that are too seedy and you don't use the seeds. And this is a Mennonite recipe, local. And I had the recipe checked over by a master canner, and all I had to do was up the vinegar a little bit to make sure it was a safe recipe. So I will be doing that one this year because we want more on the shelf, and I will try and video it because they're just unique. And they're called banana peppers because the kids called them that because they looked like bananas in the jar. It's not peppers. They're called banana pickles because of how they look in the jar. The yellow color, and they're long. So the kids in the family nicknamed them banana pickles. Otherwise, they were just known by the aunt's name. So I will be doing a video on these this year. So I will always have pickles on my pantry shelf because we just really enjoy them. And you can do such a variety, and pickles are expensive in the store. They are. I realized I had a jar of the banana pickles in the fridge. So let me get one out. The brine is really good. It's it has some sweetness, but not like a bread and butter. The next thing that I always like to have on my pantry shelf is what I call the extras. Things that make your meals special or are just unique and give a different flavor. Now the first thing isn't real unique, but it's relish. And that could have gone with pickles, but I love having pickle relish on my shelf. Mix that and this and some mayonnaise, salt and pepper, and you have amazing chicken salad. Homemade tartar sauce. Just so many things I use this for. So I always like to have pickle relish. I didn't have to make it last year. This year I do. Cowboy candy. Those little gems, and you don't need many of them. I know there's a lot of sugar in the recipe, but it's not like you put half a jar on anything. Just one chopped up, or a couple on a taco or on top of your chili, added to your cornbread. There's so many ways of using it, and it goes great with eggs. It adds an extra special on top of cream cheese. Next, and this is my last jar, is balsamic onion jam. This is like gourmet. Great on burgers, great on hot dogs, great on steaks. Added into recipes when you don't have an onion in the house. On a charcuterie board with cheese and crackers. So many ways of using this, and it's so good. And the last thing I brought out, and I have a lot more, I just wanted to show you some things I have in that, what I call the extra category. This is zesty zucchini relish. I was gifted a lot of zucchinis, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I already had this relish, so I made this. It's really good. It's savory. It's like on top of fish as you bake it, on top of tacos. There's just so many ways of using this to make a different kind of a tartar sauce. So I had all these, and then there was one more thing. And I mean, there was a lot more things. I mean, I love my vegetables. I love fruits. I have fun making jams and jellies. But applesauce. I will always have applesauce on my pantry shelf. I love homemade applesauce. This was done with Cortland's. I love doing Yellow Delicious. It turns out really white then. You control the sugar. You can use no sugar. It tastes fresh, like you're biting into an apple. You can use it in baking. I mean, and if we have pork chops, a jar of this is going on the table. But you can use it in baking. You can use it, make applesauce bread. You can use it to replace oil in baking. My grandkids love it. My husband loves it. I will always make this. And even if we have apple trees here, but we don't have a Golden Delicious, and I love using that, so I have to get them from somewhere else. But I will always have applesauce on my pantry shelf. And yes, I can go to the store and buy it, and you know, Mott's is pretty good, but I like mine. So why do I do this? I mean, why? There's so many reasons. One, I can get variety and make things to our taste that we like, that I just can't get in the store. Price. Like I said, pickles are expensive. When I can buy meat on sale, I can can it at a much lower price. Soups and stews, I can make these, and to buy a can of good soup is very expensive in the store. I have it right here. And for convenience, if we're not feeling good, if someone else isn't, for my lunches, it is money in the bank, basically. The other thing is with canning your own, you can preserve these fresh tastes from your garden or from the farmer's market or from the roadside stands or from even your grocery store when they get things in locally. You can preserve things at the height of freshness. You're prepared for any emergency when you have this, whether it's a weather emergency, a medical emergency. There's so many different circumstances, you know, and we're prepared. I don't have to run to the store when the weather gets bad and you see everything gets cleared out. I know that if we ever had another pandemic sort of situation, I am really prepared. So that gives me security. And I'm going to give you some close up with some tips. Number one, make sure you label everything, because you think you're going to recognize it later on, and sometimes you don't. Follow safe canning rules. We want to make sure that what we're putting on our shelves isn't going to make anyone sick. Your loved ones are too important for that. So follow safe canning. And then, this is one that I'm always working on, organize your pantry so that you know what you have and what gaps you need to fill. It's really important. Like when I had my last tomatoes in the freezer, like 3 bags of them, I'm like, what do I want to make? You know, do I want to make crushed tomatoes, more Minnesota mix, make some sauce or marinara? I looked and I was almost out of tomato juice. So I canned tomato juice. And I got like 3 3/4 jars. So 1 went in the fridge. That was a good thing. But I looked and I could see right away where the gap was, what I was lowest on. So I really recommend that you do keep your pantry organized for that reason. So I hope this gives you some background and some ideas for some of my favorite things that I have on my pantry shelf and why I can. And I forgot to tell you, my number one reason for canning is I really enjoy it. I love canning. It's tiring, but there's nothing like looking and seeing this on your shelf the next day, you know, on your counter. And the whole process, I just find it very relaxing and soothing and fun. So come join me in this fun. And let me know if there's anything that I did show here that you'd like to see a video on. Some of them I already do have videos. Let me know, because I love doing canning videos. Thank you for joining me today. And if you like this video and you like this content, I would love to have you as a subscriber to my channel. And if you like this video and share it, that really helps my channel too. And I love to do videos on canning and baking and vintage recipes and just life here in the thumb of Michigan. We'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.